Good afternoon. It is May 6, 2022. The temperature outside is supposed to get to 21 Celsius, which is 70 Fahrenheit. So let's talk solar. I finally got my solar system done. No thanks to Canadian Energy. I guess I just wasn't a big enough job for them to consider. I went there on a Friday afternoon, granted not the best time, and their only sales guy was out on a call. So I phoned him up on his cell and he said for me to email him what I was interested in. I did that. Then he also said he had to send it to a person in another city for it to get priced. Why they didn't do it in their store, I don't know, but okay, fine. 5 days later on a Wednesday, I haven't heard anything yet, so I went back there and I talked to the guy. I don't know, he forgot to send it, I don't know. So he sent it and we talked it a little bit. And he said we'd have price in a couple of days. A week later, I still hadn't heard anything. So I went back there again. So he gets on the phone, and he phones the person in the other city, and they're on holidays. So it was like a waste of time. Then he says he'll send it to his product guy in store, and they'll get it priced. Why he didn't do that in the first place, I don't know. So he said in a couple of days we'll have pricing again. I waited a week and said, screw it. This company just doesn't care about the smaller people, I guess. I don't know. I just don't care. Don't go to Canadian Energy. You'll just waste your time. So I went to Ray Solar, and right away, very friendly people. We talked about how to set up my system, what would be needed, where I'd have to put everything, and how it should be set up. Within a week, I had my system set up and ready to go. So thank you, Morgan and Ashley, over at Ray Solar, for helping me out with this. They only have 2 locations, one here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and the other one in Kenora, Ontario. So if you live in Manitoba or Northern Ontario, I would suggest going to Ray Solar. Very helpful people, very friendly, and much better than Canadian Energy, I can tell you that. So let's talk about my solar system. Up on the roof, I have 4 345 watt solar panels. In my closet here, once it gets late. So up on the roof, I have the panels in series. 2 strings of 2. These 2 wires are the left side, these 2 are the right side, and these wires are your standard PV 10 gauge cable. The negatives here go to a bus bar inside, and they come out on a 6 gauge cable. And the positives, one goes to this 15 amp breaker, one goes to this 15 amp breaker. They get combined inside and come out too on a 6 gauge wire. Then they go down into this Midnight Solar Classic 200. I got the 200 because it was on sale. Why not, eh? So underneath here, the negative goes in, positive goes in, negative comes out and goes down to the charger inverter. But the positive goes back up into the solar combiner and goes to this 3rd breaker, which is a 63 amp breaker. I flick that switch, I kill power to everything. Then the cable comes back down here to the charger inverter. This charger inverter is an Ames 4000 watt 24 volt split phase system. That means it can do 120 and 240 volts AC power. So these big cables here are 2-aught cables. Not too hot, 2-aught, 2/0. The negative goes straight to the battery bank. The positive comes to this battery kill switch. I flip this switch, I kill the power to the inverter. My battery bank is 6 Rolls 115 amp hour 12 volt batteries AGM. I have them in series, so it becomes a 24 volt series. So it becomes a 24 volt system with 345 amp hours. This big cable here goes all the way up into my 120 volt system. This here is a bus bar I built real quick This is just for the grounding. All the grounds go onto this one. This white cable here goes to my chassis. In theory, everything should be grounded. This box right here is my converter. It changes 120 volts into 12 volt, and that's what that's what powers my 12 volt system right there. And this thing here is a surge protector. If I get a massive surge up to 35,000 amps, that thing will break and my system will be safe. So yeah, that's my system. I'm glad I have it done, and I'm glad Ray Solar helped me out. So again, thank you Morgan and Ashley for helping me out with that. Do not go to Canadian Energy. Waste of time. Wouldn't suggest them. Not very helpful. So that's it for this episode. Until next time, have a good one.